Imagine a little kid in a classroom assigned to read a book for the class. The kid reads the book as told. The teacher asks the student what the story was about, but the kid does not remember what they read. You're probably wondering, asking yourself, why this kid does not remember what they read for their classroom assignment. The simple answer to this is, this kid suffers from a learning disorder called Auditory Processing Disorder. You're probably asking yourself, what is auditory processing disorder? Auditory processing disorder is a learning disability where someone hears the words differently than the average person. There is no answer on what causes auditory processing disorder. According to the American Academy of Audiology, auditory processing disorder is not a hearing loss, despite the difficulty it is related to hearing tasks. Auditory processing disorder is a learning disorder in the area of the brain called the auditory cortex. As a little kid, I was a late bloomer. I did not talk until I was 5 years old. I was diagnosed with ADP at 5 years old. All my school years from first grade up to high school, I went to BOCES. School was not easy for me. Like anything else, it had its highs and lows. I did well in certain courses. Math and science were hard for me. I did well in history and communication classes. I had no problem doing public speaking in front of a class. Like anything else in life, it's hard work, dedication, and consistency. Despite having this learning disorder, I've accomplished good things in my life, such as my YouTube channel. I did karate for 9 years and almost made it a black belt. I graduated with a liberal arts general studies degree from Suffolk County Community College, and I was president of a horror and sci-fi club, and I'm not done yet. I am currently working on my bachelor's degree and making this documentary about ADP, based on my experience and interest in this topic and learn the filmmaking process. There are different varieties of ADP. According to the Cleveland Clinic, similar with different types of autism. For instance, the different kinds of ADP are auditory discrimination, auditory figure ground discrimination, auditory memory, and auditory sequencing. The differences in these ADP are auditory discrimination means the ability to detect small between words. Auditory figure ground discrimination picks out specific words in a noisy background environment. Auditory memory is being able to recall what is said. For example, remembering phone numbers or song lyrics. Finally, auditory sequencing is understanding and recalling the order of words. There are differences between ADP in children and adults and how it affects them differently. In the article, What is Auditory Processing Disorder?, it explains the differences in ADP in children and in adults. For example, children with ADP can be distracted or get upset by loud noises, have difficulty following a conversation, or following directions. ADP in adults can have difficulty remembering people's names after meeting them, having a hard time listening to partners' requests which upsets them, and having a hard time finding places in the area where they live. According to the Nationwide, children with auditory processing disorder can affect children about 3 to 5%, but it seems to be a rare thing. The way ADP is diagnosed is by seeing an audiologist. The audiologist can check for the child's ability to decipher words and sentences in different situations, such as when there is a lot of ambient noise, when voices are coming from 2 different directions, when a voice is not clearly enunciating, and difficulty interpreting voice patterns. According to the article Auditory Processing Disorder from Nemours Kids Health, does your child often mishear sounds and words differently? Is the environment noise overwhelming when your child is trying to listen? Does your child have listening behaviors and performances that improve quieter settings? Does your child have trouble following verbal directions, whether it's simple or sometimes feel complicated for your child? A child may have trouble with spelling or phonics. Are math problems hard for them? Are verbal word math problems hard for my child? Is it hard for your child to follow a conversation? The latest recommendation to help someone with ADP in school are by having the student sit in front of the class visual aids, recording lessons for later review, using computer-assisted program design for kids with ADP, doing pre-teaching new or unfamiliar words. The way a family can help is by providing physical accommodation to improve listening environment, having individual therapies, Get help from other professionals. For example, speech-language therapy, counseling, art therapy or music therapy, and occupational therapy. Early interventions can help benefit someone with ADP. No matter what age you are, it's never too late to diagnose someone with ADP. Despite the learning disability being an obstacle and hard on children and adults, anyone with ADP can still be successful in life. Kids with ADP can be successful students. If you're a parent concerned with why your child is struggling in school, then go see an audiologist as soon as possible to test your child for ADP, and they will help educate parents to understand what ADP is and how they can help your child do well in school. Understand that ADP is real. Don't put this on the sideline. The earlier you get your son or daughter intervention test on ADP, the better your child will do well in school and in life. Instead of struggling why a parent's child is having a hard time with their education, it will take time to learn and understand how to help someone who lives with ADP and how it can influence a child's education. For teachers, there should be a college course on helping teachers to learn and understand how to help a student with accommodations who struggles with ADP. Anything is possible to help a student with ADP. We must all work and do this together as a team.